Hi guys, so I just want to upload a quick video explaining the bell ringer to those of you who had trouble with it. I know a lot of people did have trouble with it today, so I just want to go over it real quick. So what you were supposed to do was to tell me whether the image inside the box was centered vertically, horizontally, or completely centered. So that means both vertically and horizontally centered. A lot of people were having trouble with the vertical and the horizontally centered. Obviously, the completely centered ones you guys did fine with. So, number 4, I don't have to explain. Number 6, number 9, and number 12, you guys did fine with those. So, to be centered vertically means to be in the center of the vertical axis or in the middle of top to bottom. So it doesn't matter what side the image is on, whether it's on the top or the right or the bottom or the left. This one is centered completely too. So what you're looking at is on which axis it's centered on. So this is centered along the horizontal axis. So if I were to draw a horizontal line across this box, this image is in the center of it. Even though the image is on the top, which you might think, and a lot of you did think, meant that it's centered vertically, it's not. If you were to draw a vertical axis through it, it's not in the center of that vertical axis. It's in the center of the horizontal axis. The center of the vertical axis would put it somewhere on the horizontal axis. Because when you have an axis, the horizontal axis is in the center of the vertical axis. They meet at a point in between the two. So, for this example, since it's in the middle of the horizontal axis and not in the vertical axis, this would be horizontally centered, even though, again, the image is on the top. This is another good example right here. If I were to draw a vertical axis here, my image is centered to the middle of the vertical axis. That puts it on the horizontal axis, but it's not in the center of the horizontal axis. The cross point between the vertical and the horizontal axis would be the center of the horizontal axis. So therefore, it's centered vertically and not horizontally. So this one over here is horizontally. Ooh, I cannot write with this. I'm using a mouse. So forgive that. I'm just going to write a V here for vertical because there's no point in writing that gibberish. So the same thing goes here. We are on the middle of the horizontal axis here. If I draw an axis, directly in the middle is where this is along the horizontal axis. Even though it's on the top, it's in the middle of the horizontal axis. It's not in the middle of the up and down axis or the vertical axis. So hopefully that kind of explains it a little bit better to you. I had another example set here so that you guys could see based in Word. When you insert a table and you go to layout, they actually have the different centering options for you. So centered vertically and horizontally. I believe it even says that, yep. Center text horizontally and vertically within the cell. So this is the completely centered that you guys didn't have an issue with. This one, center text vertically and align it to the left. So again, this is centered vertically because if I were to draw a vertical axis here, it would be in the middle. And same here. This is another centered vertically option. This technically is still centered vertically, it's just also centered horizontally. For a horizontal center, it would be the top the middle, and the bottom. This one doesn't say, but these ones tell you that this is centering it vertically. Centering horizontally is usually what's used on a Word program. So like if I were to just type in hello here and use the text centering option, it will automatically go for a horizontal centering because the vertical axis goes through the middle of the page here. So just another trick to remember that horizontal centering is usually what you guys would be used to when using a word processing program like Microsoft Word or Google Documents. Anything where you're writing on a page and centering it, that would be horizontal centering. Hopefully that clears up the questions and the confusion that you guys had on this one. Again, bell ringers are participation, so it's not hurting you at all that you guys got a lot of those questions wrong. But hopefully you understand this a little bit better because it is a great technique to use when designing layouts and designing different photo projects in Photoshop.